Hello and welcome to this tutorial for Bakasana crow pose. So throughout this tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through a few little tips. It's going to be super quick, just giving you the basics that you might need to fly those feet up in the air. It's a little bit breezy out here today, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Before we get started, I just want you to know that on my membership, which there is a link to below, my monthly membership, right now, starting today, is a 5-day arm balance series, and it's a challenge to really get you strong for your arm balances. And it starts off with a 30-minute flow for crow pose, and then tomorrow we move on to side crow, we do Kundanyasana, we do Titibasana over the 5 days, and on top of that you still get your normal membership flows, etc. So I will put the link below. There is a 3-month discount code which I've extended for 1 week, so if you sign up this week you will get 20% off your first 3 months of the membership, and I'm really excited to have you as part of the family. So make sure you click the link below after you've practiced your crow pose with me. Let's do this. So let's just quickly warm up the wrists. We're going to do this quite quickly. I want to make this a kind of speedy tutorial today, and you can see here in front of me I have got a cushion. Now this is for anybody that is slightly newer to their crow pose and is, I guess, fearful of that face planting. So having a cushion just helps the mind, I guess, just kind of let go of the fear a little bit. So just working forwards and backwards, side to side on the hands quickly. Obviously, if you were doing this as like a longer practice, you would spend more time warming up the body and strengthening through the wrists. Shaking those wrists out, interlace the hands, just start to work them round in circles in a figure of 8. And then let's just roll the shoulders back a few times. And then rolling them forwards. And then big arm rolls going back. And then big arm rolls going forwards. So the key, well, one of the keys to crow pose is counterbalance. So of course you need strength and you need mobility, but a lot of it comes down to counterbalance, and that's why when we're a bit fearful of falling on our face, we're unable to fly the feet off, because we're a bit scared of what will happen if we just let ourselves go a little bit far forwards. So place the hands down, pop your cushion here if you are slightly newer to it and you're a little bit scared. Pop your hands down. You want to have your wrists stacked underneath your shoulders, okay? And then you're in this crouch position. Now, for me, this crouch position is obviously quite accessible. For you, if you're not quite as open through these lower body joints, then you might find this a bit harder and be sort of around here. That's absolutely okay. What we're going to do, you're going to spread through the fingers and just take a bit of time just to feel into your mat. And as you start to lift the hips up and you bend the elbows, so we've got the elbows bent, the hips are lifting. Now you'll see that I'm slowly coming up onto the toes, and I'm going to bring my knees to the backs of my elbows and just shift my shoulders forwards. And then I'm going to shift back. And you can see how that feels. So a lot of this has to do with getting the hips up and the shoulders forwards. You're not thinking about going down. So I know the fear is that you might be going down, but you really want to think about growing yourself forwards and the hips going up. So you can see here that as I put my knees on the backs of my elbows, my head is traveling forward, my hips are up, and I don't even have to move my legs, but there comes a point where my feet just balance off the mat and they just fly off a little bit, and that is really what you're looking for. You're looking for that moment that you are in that perfect counterbalance where you've got your shoulders far enough forward for your feet then to lift off, and having a cushion really helps. And then from there you can start engaging the hamstrings and bringing the feet or the heels closer to the bottom. The other variation of crow pose is crane, where we take it with straight arms. Now for this one you do need to be slightly more mobile, because the idea is that you're going to be getting the knees higher up into the armpits. So as you come forward, so this one's slightly more comfortable on the arms if you are deep enough to find it. And you can see here as well, my shoulders are over my wrists, so it really does help to work on wrist therapy. So warming up through the wrist joint warming up through the whole body, through the shoulders. So taking it on the backs of the elbows with the elbows bent, what you don't want to happen is where the knees come out to the sides. Now, this is more comfortable, of course, where you're kind of here, but you're unable to fly the feet up as high. So you'll get that initial rush of taking the feet off, but what you won't be able to do so much is to progress through the pose and take it into other transitions. Like one day, we'll all be floating up to handstand from our Bakasana. So what you really want to find is placing them on the backs of the elbows and just working forwards until you can find that sweet spot of balance. I'll show you from the side how that looks. So my knees are on the backs of my elbows. I've shifted so far forwards that I can then bring my feet up and my elbows are bent. And then from there, the transition is slightly easier to go to handstand, as opposed to if you were in crane with the straight arms, it requires a hell of a lot more core and upper body strength to get your legs up. So they are your crow pose tips for today. I hope that you found that useful. I hope that you are practicing, and please do join me for the arm balance series on the membership. Like I say, the link is below. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube as well, because this is where you get all your free content from. But on the membership, you get lots more. And yeah, I can't wait to see you there. So thank you for watching. Thank you for doing your crow pose with me, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.